All right, so we have fall death. Now what we're going to do is add some enemy death. It won't be completely done because we'll polish it in the next thing, but I'm just going to try and roughly set it up. Okay, so I'm gonna first we need to make the enemies. Then we'll go in. We'll make one enemy and then just duplicate it to make the other. So I'm going to zoom in, and I will just put like just an enemy guy right here. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead. I'm just going to use a square here, and I'm just going to make a color so that I know that it's an enemy. Let's just make it, not blue. Let's do yellow. Okay, so I'm just going to do a square looking thing. This will be my enemy. He looks pretty scary. I'm going to double click on it to grab the object. I'm going to hit F8, or you go to modify, convert to symbol, and we'll just call it enemy underscore MC for motion clip. All right. So now we've got that, or movie clip. So now we got that. Okay, so this is going to need basically three things. We're going to need the graphic of the enemy, and then we're also going to need a way for the enemy to kill us and a way for us to kill the enemy. So we're going to need basically three objects. So I'm just going to go ahead on this layer that this is already on. I'm just going to call it graphic. All right, so that'll be the graphic. I'm just going to go ahead and lock that so I don't have to worry about messing around with it. And then I'll make a new one, and we'll call this kill player. And on this one, I'm just going to do another square, and we'll just make a different color just so that I know what it is. So this will, and what I want to do with this one is I want to draw something like this. Don't go too high because we're going to have a thing on the top that's going to kill them, that kills the player. But basically, this will be our collision box. So if we run into this part, this will kill us, okay? So I'm going to double click on that, and we'll hit F8, and we'll just call this kill player underscore MC. And while I have it selected, I'm just going to go ahead and just name it kill player. Okay. So the instance name of it's kill player, and the object name's also kill player, but we'll just name them both the same. That way, we're going to have to get to this through code, and that way it's there. All right. So now what I'm going to do is make a new layer. Let's put this underneath the graphic just so you don't really see it. And we'll put this other new layer underneath that too. And we'll call this one kill enemy. And this will be our enemy, basically, collision box. Just going to change the color again. Not that the color actually matters, and just, I don't know, feel like I should do that. So this, I want to be... let's go a little bit bigger. Let's say like this, we'll say. Okay. Now, these might need to be adjusted after we put a final graphic of our enemy on there, but for now, this should work. So I'm going to double click on that object. And, hang on a second. I think I want a little, there we go, like that. Okay. Double click on it. I'm going to hit F8 to convert to symbol, and we're just going to call this the kill enemy underscore MC, and you can probably guess what I'm gonna name it over here. It's just gonna be kill enemy. All right, good. So now we have, and we'll just lock all these layers so that there's no mess ups or whatever. Okay, good. So basically, this will kill the player, and this will kill the enemy, and we're gonna use those just with collisions, like we've done with a bunch of other things, in order to make it work. Okay. So I'm gonna back up, and this object needs. Let me go here. This object, I have the regular select tool here, needs an instance name too, and we'll just call this enemy1, okay? So we'll make enemy1, enemy2, enemy3, it's just so that we can have multiples of them, okay? So that'll be enemy1. So I'm going to hit F9, or you just go Window Actions, and we are going to, after this, add the enemy stuff here. So we'll just do enemy kill player and player kill enemy. Okay. All right. So inside of here, we're going to basically kind of use the same thing that we did up here, but a little bit different. So we're going to say if, and we're going to say player. We're going to test the player, and we're going to do hit test object. We're just going to test the object. And what we're going to test is going to be on the background. Notice that I was inside the background too, right? Wait, was I? Should have been. Wait, was I? What was this guy attached to? Oh man, okay, hang on a second. That was supposed to be inside of background. So apparently I did it in the actions panel. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know how I did that. So I'm just going to select it. I'm going to hit Control X to cut it. Go to the background. Open it up. So you see we're in background. Make a new layer in background. I'm sorry about that. And then we'll just call it enemies. We'll put all the enemies in there. And then we're going to Control V. Okay. So, well, there he is. Okay, in all of his glory. Okay, so it should be on there, and then if you open this up, he's got his sublayers. Okay, so it's inside of background. This enemy should be in the background. Worst comes to worst, just literally open up the background, go to your library, delete it off wherever it was. Oops, not this one. Grab the enemy, drop it in here, like so, and then just make sure that you name it enemy 1 here. Enemy 1. Okay. But it should, and it'd be better if you put it in a new layer as well. Okay, so this will be our enemy. It's super great. Okay, sorry about that. All right, back to our thing here. Okay, so we're gonna do the player hit test object. It's gonna be background dot enemy 1. And so what we have to do is we have to do two different things, right? We want to test the thing that's going to kill the player, and we want to test the thing that we're going to kill the enemy. So we're going to have to do 2 of these for each enemy, basically. Okay, so enemy 1, and then we'll do kill player, like that. Okay, so basically the object we're going to test is going to be the background, the enemy 1, and the dot kill player. So you can see we're 3 objects in, right? Because inside the background is the enemy 1, and inside enemy 1 is kill player. And we want to run this bit of code when it does, and it's going to literally be the same thing as what this fall death was. I just want to do the same thing. So if we die, it's just basically going to start us from the beginning. So I'm just going to copy this, Control C, and Control V. So it's just, it's not going to do anything. I mean, we could set up a thing later on if we want where it will, go through and, what do you call it? Like have lives and stuff like that, and have it like end the game. Let's just test that to make sure that that works. It's always a good idea that every time you like finish something, test it, because you don't want to do too many things and have it not work. Okay, so we'll go like this, and hopefully this will kill me. There you go. So you can see, yay, it's working. Good. All right, so that works. So next what I want to do is have us have the ability to kill the player, okay? Or to kill the enemy. So we're going to say if player dot hit test object, and we're going to test same object basically, background dot enemy 1, but instead of the kill player object is going to be the kill enemy object. Okay. And this one, what it's going to do is it's just going to do this. We're going to say in the background, we're going to remove a child. So it's remove child. It's like a function inside of it. So basically, it's going to remove it out of it. So remember, inside a background is my enemy. That's the thing I want to remove. So we're going to remove child, and then what we're going to remove is going to be background dot enemy 1. Like that, and semicolon. So let's just test that. And so basically now, if we touch the top part, it does nothing. Oh, there it goes. Oh, you know why? So it's testing the player, which is this. The center's right here. I want to make it ground check. So instead of player, make this one ground check. And now let's try that again. So if the ground check hits it, that'll be better. So let's try that now. There we go. Works much better. Okay, good. So we made one enemy. Let's just go ahead and we'll make the other one just so that we have more than one. But if you want to do more, you can see how we'll do it. So I'm going to close this out. And I'm going to open up the background. I'm in my background here. I should got my timeline up. Let's just... Okay, so I'm just going to keep putting him in enemy. So I'm just going to take this guy, And literally, I can either pull them from the library or I can just duplicate them here. I'm going to hold Alt and just click and drag it over here. So now I got a second one. But you got to be careful because when you duplicate them on there, they're going to say enemy. It's going to have the same instance name, which you can't do. And the reason why that's important is because, like, when I go to kill this one, it's actually going to kill this one too. It'll kill all the ones named enemy 1, which doesn't help us. Okay, so with the second one, I need to change the name to enemy 2. Okay, and then if you did more, it'd be enemy 3, enemy 4, what have you. And then in the code, I'm going to back this thing up. I'm going to hit F9 to go back into the code. We literally have to just copy and paste the code we just wrote. So this part here, this stuff here, the hit player, kill player here, and this, we're going to, from this if to here, Control C, Control V, but this time instead of enemy 1, we'll do enemy 2, enemy 2, and enemy 2. Okay, so with the second one, just make sure that these are all changed to enemy 2 instead of enemy 1. And now that one will have its own thing that it does. Okay, so we successfully made an enemy. The next thing to do, obviously, is not animated or doing anything. We'll do that afterwards. But that's at least good. So the next thing we need to do is add a way of scoring. Okay. And we will do that in the next one, and then that'll be the last of this series, okay? It might take 2 videos to do. I'm going to try and do it in one, but we'll see. All right.